Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If you remember, the Russians claimed that they retreat from Kherson because they're afraid the Ukrainians will blow up the hydroelectric dam on the Dnipro River upstream of Kherson, and they said, well, that's going to affect the whole population and our military infrastructure downstream. That was the claim. Now, this article that I found, it seems like, not it seems like, it is a bridge, and let me read you the title that would explain better what happened there. You find this on various media outlets, and it says, and this one is from Ukrainska Pravda, Kremlin-aligned media posts video of bridge explosion at Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant. This comes from Ukrainska Pravda, and the other article that I picked is from the New Voice of Ukraine, from the same date, which is the 12th of November 2022. Video of bridge explosion near Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant posted online. You can see that as a explosion. You don't know who hit it, but these guys are telling you it was the Russians, obviously. So let's see what they say. A video of Russian troops blowing up the bridge next to the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant was posted by Anton Hereshchenko, advisor to the head of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, on Telegram on November 12th. Well, first, I can't tell if that is blown by the Russians. The video doesn't show who blew it or blew it up. You don't know if it's the Americans, the British, Special Forces, or Ukrainian, or Russians, or I don't know, Romanians, for that matter. All you see, you can watch the video, is a big flash, and then you see the explosion, whatever. You can see some fire and something blown up. You don't know it was a missile, it was a how do you call it, a mine, or you don't know what caused this, but the fact is someone hit that or blew that up. The footage shows a bright flash and a loud explosion. And I'm quoting, "This is what their heroic regrouping looked like. Escape and blowing up bridges just to avoid getting caught. It's okay, we will get them all," end quote, Hereshchenko said in comments with the video. Now, to be fair, a rape is a rape. It doesn't matter if my father does it or your father does it. So, in this case, if you remember, when the Russians crossed the Dnipro River, and not only the Dnipro River, I think it's Zaporozhye as well, the Ukrainians were blowing up their own bridges. Remember that one? All the bridges. So why was that okay, but this is not okay? So you say, first, I don't think it's okay at all. But in a war, I understand it's a strategic attack. You blow the crossings, it's hard to obviously follow the whomever is retreating or invading. So that's a strategic blow. I understand that one. Now Ukrainians are upset about this bridge being blown up when they blew up the Antonivka bridge 50,000 times, and the barges and all that. And now all of a sudden it's a problem. Why? Because it's them. So anyway, I understand this kind of rhetoric, but just for us, stop yapping. You did the same thing many times before. So it says, the day before, satellite images were published that show that 3 sections of the bridge have been destroyed. The explosion may also damage the dam at the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant. So the explosion may also damage the dam, which regulates water discharge from the Dnipro River reservoir, which stretches from the city of Zaporozhye in the north to Nova Kakhovka in the south. So the explosion might have damaged the dam. So it seems like this road is, the bridge is the one on top of the dam. It says here the Russian invaders blew up all the bridges in Kherson Oblast before their retreat. Well, no, you blew them first, if I remember correctly, and now they blow whatever they build back. And I don't think they build back, they use the barges. But anyway, this is the Ukrainian side. The Russian invaders blew up all the bridges in Kherson Oblast before their retreat. And shortly before, I think you should do it after your retreat, not before. I think you do it before, then it's going to be a hard time for you to retreat. So I think you retreat first and then you blow them up. No? Doesn't make sense. Why do you make it harder for you? Because they were already blown up. That's the problem, little weasel here. But anyway, I understand his... So the Russian invaders blew up all the bridges in Kherson Oblast before their retreat and shortly before the approach of the Ukrainian army in Kherson. Well, what do you expect? This is how it is in a war, and as I said, it makes sense on both sides. You want to stop or make it harder for the invaders to cross the river, which is always a hard time to do it, hard task. And or you'd want to blow up the bridges so the guys that chase you, you get some head start. And I think the Russians are just stopped on the left bank of the Dnipro River, waiting for the Ukrainians to stop at the river, and that's where it's going to be until probably February, March next year, when nobody's going to do anything. And I just checked the satellite images, and that is the bridge, but is the dam. So the bridge goes over the dam. So if they hit that one, they could damage the dam, and the whole water of the Dnipro can go down. And that is Kakhovka Reservoir. So that is in Nova Kakhovka. This bridge is on P47. That's the street here, the road, the artery. So that's the one that is the Russians or whomever blow it up. Now, if the Russians were so if the Russians were so good at blowing up bridges, but they're not good at picking up HIMARS or other military weapons, military weapons, all right, of the Ukrainians. There's a lot of contradictions. So if there was the Russians using a missile or something, I don't know if they used a missile, it was mined, the bridge, but it's just, if it was the missile, it's kind of like pinpointed strike, don't you think? I mean, look over the satellite and figured it out and see how pinpointed you have to be. On the other hand, the Russians are so inaccurate, according to the Ukrainians, that they blow only civilians, and there's like 30% accuracy they have, the Russians. But in this bridge, one missile blows the bridge, and as I said, the dam is underneath. So how can you take a chance to blow up the bridge and not the dam? Unless it was, as I said, mined, and then they just detonated, and that was it. But if you remember, the Russians said that the Ukrainians actually will blow it. The Ukrainians said, no, the Russians mined it. I don't know, they're both lying. The fact is, someone blew up that bridge, and underneath the bridge is the dam. Could the dam collapse? I don't know. Depends how strong the how do you call it, the explosion is. So we'll find out, right? It is dangerous. Yes, I think it's very dangerous. You play with this kind of calamities. If that dam breaks, you're gonna have a lot of a big disaster. I mean, a disaster is a disaster, but anyway, this is the news with this dam and the bridge. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.